Looks like we are underway. All right, Twitch chat, can you hear us? Is everything working for you guys? Give us an update here.
Sound check for the Twitch chat.
Yeah, as we get underway. Yeah, we're already getting subscribers. I do love to see that.
They can hear us. Sounds fine.
Okay.
Look at that.
Well, Johnny, why don't we tell them a little bit about the Outryder of, now I'm blanking out, Cup?
Outrider Cup. Yeah, so here we are. My name is Johnny. I'm here with William Hagewood. We are sitting in for our beloved host, Dion Morales, here at the Outrider Cup in beautiful and snowy Indianapolis. The Outrider Cup is a really unique event. It's a team-style event. Different teams are representing their home city. So we have 9 teams here, 9 teams each consisting of 6 people.
Mm-hmm.
And scoring is all team-based. And there are a few unique restrictions as well in terms of list building. So our first 2 rounds are going to be hyperspace rounds, and our last 2 rounds will be extended. And as a team format, every team needs to select 3 factions and bring exactly 2 lists from each of those factions with no overlapping unique pilots or upgrades.
Yeah, we have 9 different teams. Let's see if I can name them off. We have Cleveland, Pittsburgh, Columbus, Indianapolis, Fort Worth.
Fort Wayne.
Fort Wayne, excuse me. Fort Worth would be quite a travel. We have St. Louis and Chicago. Who am I missing?
Let's see. Did you say Detroit? Oh,
Detroit.
Louisville. Did you say
Louisville?
Yes.
There's 8, and we're missing. Did I say Pittsburgh?
I don't know. And Pittsburgh.
Hopefully that's 9. We'll definitely be going through each team here. Let's take a moment to, as we start out the first round of this hyperspace event. Or I guess this is the round. Hyperspace round. Hyperspace for 1 and 2. Extended for 3 and 4. We have Daniel Fiorentini representing Columbus. And
getting some little glitches in the video here. Hopefully that stays stable.
Someone's stepping on the cam. Why don't you break down the list, I guess, and I will be right back.
Work on the technical stuff. Okay, so we have Daniel flying a U-Wing, Partisan Renegade, equipped with advanced sensors, tactical officer, and pivot wing, accompanied by Nora Wexley in a Y-Wing, very hard to take down. I believe that's Y-Wing, yep. And Luke Skywalker with supernatural reflexes, proton torpedoes, R2 astromech, and the servomotor S-foils. So kind of a jousty list with some finesse. So I think this list has a lot of punch with the double proton torpedoes. Obviously, it has the ability to throw a lot of dice, but has some tricks as well. Luke can dance around a little bit. Nora can really act as the tank, take a lot of damage, and hopefully add some survivability. On the other side of the table, Darwin is flying a scum list. He's got... The video is still cutting in and out. Actually, it's completely out at the moment.
That's okay. I learned how to fix that.
Darwin is flying a scum list, dual Falcons, or dual YT-1300s, I should say. Han Solo with trick shot, rigged cargo chute, and the Lando's Falcon title. Also Lando in his own YT-1300 with trick shot, L337. Tobias Beckett, where he can move around obstacles after setup, and rigged cargo chute. Old Tarok, which will fly kind of possibly more of a flanking type of approach.
This looks like the Tobias Beckett right here. He chose the rock that was placed right in front of him, and he needs to place it outside of range 2 of any of the enemy's ships.
And also flying an autopilot drone. So I love the setup with the autopilot drone. The autopilot drone ticks off charges, and after it is left with 0 charges, it explodes like a proton bomb. So you essentially set up that autopilot drone to lose its charges, and then deploy it at just the right time to have sort of a proton bomb with a maneuver dial, basically, where you can launch it out of the front or the back using the maneuver dial of the escape pod.
Yes, it's very interesting because not only can you, for example, like 3-bank out the front and then barrel roll, you can also block with that bomb as well.
Yeah.
So it becomes very interesting.
We had a practice game. I was flying against Darwin, and I thought, oh, he's going to launch that drone. I'll just barrel roll out of the way, no problem. But he launched it just in the right spot to block like all of my ships. They all took damage. It was a rough go as he was able to get that drone in exactly the right spot.
Yep, and we apparently lied to these guys. Said we started the time when they set down asteroids, but looks like we're underway.
So here we go. We get the escape pod autopilot drone going first. Darwin's going to flip a charge first and then execute the maneuver with that escape pod. So now this ticking time bomb is down to 2 charges.
Yep, we'll see if you think he's going to wait one more round, or do you think he's going to scoop it up right away?
I think you scoop it up right away, and that just gives you the flexibility to deploy it at any time. So it's effective even if it's only a threat of a bomb. So having that threat sort of locked in adds a lot of utility to this list.
And we see we're pretty clear jousting lane here going down at the bottom. We have all of Daniel's ships, Luke, Nora, and the Partisan coming right at Lando.
So chat was asking, who is Darwin representing? Sorry, we missed that fact. Darwin is from Chicago. He is a local to us, a Gold Squadron member. So this is a Chicago versus Columbus matchup, if I am not mistaken.
Yes. I believe Daniel's from Columbus, Ohio. I'm a little worried about that Lando down at the bottom, to be honest with you.
Yeah, these YT-1300s can soak up a lot of damage, but still it's not an infinite amount of damage. If they get focus fired, they do take a lot of hits in each round.
Yeah, he does have the option, because he is a Initiative 4. He does have the option to block both Nora and Luke, but Nora's being coordinated, and Luke has supernatural reflexes, which is going to let him probably boost or barrel roll, or most likely barrel roll, sometimes boost before his maneuver.
Yeah, also if Darwin is able to come in and flank Daniel's ships, that could spell a bad position for Daniel if he's not able to really get out of this jousting lane after the initial pass.
Yeah, there's a lot of things I really like about both of these lists. I really like Daniel's Partisan tech here. He's got white coordinate and advanced sensors, so he can take his coordinate before he even does his dial, which is very interesting because of the U-Wing's pivot wing being able to close its wings and then rotate 90 or 100 degrees. It's going to allow that Partisan to stay in the fight and also be able to still coordinate. And looks like he is currently coordinating Nora, because Luke basically has 2 different actions because of the Force. Or excuse me, 2 different modifiers.
Oddball Narwhal, thanks for the sub. We really appreciate all of our subscribers on Twitch Prime. Remember, if you have Amazon Prime, you also have access to a Twitch Prime subscription, so remember to get those subs over to us. We really appreciate it, and it really helps out the stream and the podcast.
We also have giveaways for people watching, and uh, what would you call these? I guess they're not. They were the classic templates, but now we have just Gold Squadron template set, and we have a special one just for Twitch Prime subscribers.
Yeah, they're pretty nice looking templates, kind of in a goldish color. Have
these are normally the normal ones are black, or the classic ones were white. These orange ones are unique to the winner of the giveaway. We aren't selling or giving away any other orange ones other than to subscribers on Twitch.
there we go.
So another incentive to make sure they click that button.
Jangles11, thanks for the sub, and GW Harn, thank you for the sub as well.
So it looked like the Han did bump there into that auto drone, so might be picking it up here in the next round.
Yeah, so he can basically take a charge off at the start of this round and then dock, and then when he chooses to undock, he can take that last remaining charge off, so it'll be ready to go when he deploys.
Yep, exactly. The charges go off on the drone's initiative of 1, but docking goes on the initiative of the docking ship. Or how would you say the ship that holds the dock?
I don't know.
Okay.
Yeah.
Well, it'd be, in this case, it's Han, because Han has the Millennium Falcon's title. So like I said, on initiative 1, on the system phase, he loses the charge. On initiative 6, Han chooses to dock with the Millennium Falcon
The carrier.
title.
The Twitch chat says the carrier.
That's pretty smart. Thank you, Twitch chat. That's why we need you.
We drove here through the snow today, so we're a little rusty maybe. Papa Falcon, another suggestion.
Oh, Papa Falcon. That's good.
Capit77, thanks for the sub on Twitch Prime.
So what is... I'm still going back to... I think the Han and old Terok out there for Darwin, they have pretty simple things. Go real fast, come in for the shot. What is Lando going to do, and how can Daniel reduce its options?
Seems like Lando, I don't know, maybe wants to turn between those two asteroids.
So maybe a 3-bank boost. I don't know if that would put...
Yeah, because then you're obstructed, which is good for Lando with trick shot.
Something like that, possibly.
Yeah, so maybe that's the line there.
But then Han has to cut back this way.
Yeah, which is a little bit awkward.
I don't know how far that 4 forward lands him. 4 forward boost only puts him here, which means if they only go 1 forward, he'll eat range 1s. I'm not quite sure where his arc is. I believe Han's is like this.
Front and back.
I can't tell where... I'm actually going to go look at that, because that's actually good information to know. Where those arcs at are on these big bow tie ships.
All right, let me know. So here we have dials being set. It looks like we're just waiting on one more from Daniel. The opening engagement is always a little bit of a slowdown period because it's a really key moment in the match. So everyone's kind of being cautious. It looks like we have all those dials down. Here's William back with the update.
Yep. So both of those arcs are going front and
back.
Hopefully give it a moment
we
here.
Still have, looks like, some glitches with the video.
I think it's one of these chords. It'll just be a moment here. Have faith. There it is. Just start hitting stuff. That'll scare Dean off. We just start smacking things around, screaming at the electronics here.
Okay, we do have that autopilot drone docked now.
He docked that really quick. I put it in the model there. I love that nose cone on the model.
It's really cool. I mean,
it fits in seamlessly, like model to model.
yeah.
probably their highest achievement right now, in my opinion, for as far as models.
Okay, so I didn't quite see the U-wing.
He coordinated Nora
Okay,
there, a focus.
so there's no bump. He just kind of slid in there.
He has advanced sensors.
And
so.
he had his advanced sensors anyway. Got it.
So Darwin did take the 4 forward here, and
Okay.
he might be trying to go for that block.
It looks like it went a little faster than we anticipated, so he might be, as you said, might be in position.
Yeah, his boost could put him here, but Luke could just barrel roll backwards and still be able to hit him in arc.
And get around, yeah, absolutely.
And Nora's 1 forward is just going to be a range 1 shot, which is still 3 dice. So
we see Darwin thinking this over, leaning over the table, kind of trying to imagine the distances in his mind, and he is going to go for it.
All right. It's definitely a risky play, but if he can drop the chute on 2 or 3 of those ships next round.
Yeah, that's value.
But yeah, he only needs a 1 bank or a 2 forward or something to clear that.
And here we have old Tarok coming in that very nice flanking position. I think Tarok is set up to do some serious damage here. Probably getting some shots off this turn, I would imagine. Yeah, there's the boost.
Yep, he's got easy lanes, whichever way he needs to take there from his current position. And should be a range 3 shot unobstructed right down to that U-wing. What do you think about target priority here? Well, obviously Darwin has forced Daniel's hand in target priority. But what do you think Darwin's target priority is for these 3 rebel ships?
Yeah, that's a really good question. The U-wing is kind of an easy target in the sense that it's somewhat less maneuverable, and you can put damage through a little bit more consistently. So if you're just looking to get something off the board and get points, maybe go for the U-wing. But leaving Luke for the end game is sort of a dangerous proposition. So
he's got +2 shields there, so he actually has 8 health and supernatural reflexes, which, though Han is initiative 6, and we should put in quick note here that we just saw old Tarek moving first, so Darwin has initiative.
All right, we have some bumps here. So Lando definitely doing his job.
Really? It's going to be a tight squeeze in there. Did he get both blocks?
That's what it looks like. It looks like Luke slammed right into the front, and then Nora followed shortly after.
Might have a target lock in his hand. Might be.
I think
it doesn't look like Nora blocked there. Luke got blocked because he came in with the bank, which is a little bit farther.
So I believe we may have missed. Luke may have actually failed his barrel roll towards the near side of the board.
Oh, that's what they were discussing down there. I wasn't quite sure what they were discussing.
That's what the chat is assuming right now, and I think that's I saw that barrel roll template come out, but obviously with this positioning, he must have not actually fit to the near side of the board. So failed barrel roll and then leading to a bump.
That's very interesting because he had originally started in the corner and barrel rolled up and then moved forward and then tried to barrel out and failed.
So how could he have possibly
done that?
Failed that barrel roll?
Inaccuracy in templates, I guess.
Yeah, I guess that is a very unfortunate turn of events for Daniel. We'll see how it plays out. But Lando getting those blocks definitely is going to help Darwin's case.
Yep, and Nora and the U-wing will have 6 dice on Lando here, but only Nora's going to be able to. Or no, U-wing's got 3 attack dice, so that's 4 at range 1. What's up? What are you doing? Okay. So let's see. Han's out there looking for the trick shots. He wants that Nora. Remind me, Nora's ability is if a ship is at range 1. An enemy ship, not specifically the shot, correct?
Yeah, I believe that's correct.
So Nora's got the free evade here. Ewing's got an extra agility and obstruction. Let's see what Darwin decides. I personally would go after that Ewing. You have 3 shots on it right now. It's got no defensive token. But it's also the weaker support ship
Sure. Sure.
with just as much health as the 1 agility Nora. Yeah, this is going to be interesting here. Is Darwin still calculating the shots? I'm not sure. Oh, we're going into combat here.
He was getting his dice. Looks like we don't have the dice camera at the moment. We'll get that switched on.
Where's that dice cam at? Here's booth view. Where's weight screen?
It's got to be one of... No. We are navigating the sophisticated setup that Dion has yielded to us.
Huh.
I thought it would be in one of these.
No, these are overlays, so you can.
Isn't the dice camera an overlay?
That's fair.
Oh, here.
Dice cam.
Oh.
We're looking at it.
All right. So
I'll double check. I'll touch all the wires, I guess. And let's try to find out and do a little damage update too. I'm over there.
perfect. So we are here sitting about 100 feet away from the actual game table. So William has walked over there, is going to check all the wires. He's basically just jiggling connections around, see if something pops to life. And players are still going through this engagement phase. We'll get an update on the damage numbers as soon as we have them. Looks like pretty clear shields off of Lando. Getting those cities updated for you while we have a second here.
Really nice.
Yeah. Can't see that card for the glare. William is still over there checking things out. So we have Lando already with a damage card.
Is that working? No, not at all.
I haven't seen the dice.
I told him not to roll in the box for now.
Great.
Is shot from here to OTM shot.
All right, looks like we're back to dials now. The U-Wing took some hits as well. Looks like shields off of the U-Wing. And that looks right. Did you guys catch what that crit was? Oh, we
Try
have
that right now.
pulled Dion out of his game.
Yeah, you didn't need to. I was just asking a question. Oh, we need studio mode. Is that right? Click settings here. That's not right. You know. I click settings.
All right, we're just getting things updated. Tech support is indeed here, Twitch chat.
It goes. It's working.
Okay, got the camera back.
There's not that big token out there, though.
Did you see the crit on Lando?
It is ionized thing.
Ionized.
You get ionized.
Ionized thing. Okay. So it's got.
Okay, it works. Thank you, Neil. Good luck.
We're back. We have several times turned it off and turned it back on again. Thank you, Oddball Narwhal. We basically try that 5 or 6 times before we try anything else.
So, getting back into it. So, damaged power regulator.
Damage power regulator.
That's what that crit is called. And so that was Lando's shields gone. Disabled power regulator, and then the partisans out of shields as well.
Got it. These oversized tokens are amazing for spotting things on stream.
It's so much easier, and we do have them in order here. If you haven't noticed that the partisans on top and Luke is on bottom for Daniel there. Oh, you put the teams in there too.
Yeah, they were asking for that, so I figured.
It is a team event. It's
Team event.
It's not just your individual record; it is your overall team. So
That's right.
We're gonna try to get. There's only eight players we could potentially get in 9 teams, so we're gonna try to get every team. But we're really looking for those skin games.
Yeah, absolutely. So let's talk a little bit. How does the scoring work, and how do skins work for this event?
So in second edition, we got rid of modified wins, but in this event, if you would score, or excuse me, at the end of your game, if the difference between you and your opponent's score is less than 24, which is the price of the cheapest ship or so, then neither person scores the point for that round,
Right.
and both players carry a point into the next game, making their next game then worth 2 points. And this could escalate, in fact, all day. It is possible to have, in the last round, a 7-point game. If both players
nuts.
brought skins each round, and then both of them brought 3 points to the last game, and then that game would also be worth 1 point, making it a 7-point game.
Nuts. That is absolutely
We're streaming
crazy.
that one if that happens.
Of course. Yeah, we have to.
But yeah, those skin games are going to decide, I think, a majority of the rankings here.
Yeah, it seemed this is my first time at the Outrider Cup, but I've heard stories from past years where carrying those skins really has a big effect on the scoring and certainly on the importance of those games.
Oh yeah, because in theory, what do I want to say? In theory, you actually are, not in theory, you are creating an extra point,
Yeah.
which means you could score all of your wins, which would be 6 times 4, so 24 points. Each of your teammates could all win through all 4 rounds, but if another team also did the same thing and were
Yeah.
beating skin players,
Yeah, they end
would
up
actually
ahead.
pull ahead.
Absolutely.
So it becomes also a gamble then, because this is a team event. They get to pick some of their pairings, and you have to be a little bit cautious about who you're matching up your skin player against, because you can't give your skin player the hard counter and then lose the additional point.
Yeah, that's another really unique thing about this event. Pairings are not random as usual. There is a system of setting down half of your list as sort of a defensive lists on the table, and the other half of your list are offensive lists, which you choose the matchup against the available defensive lists. So you're picking your matchups, and yeah, if you have a player with a skin or multiple skins, you want to be very careful about selecting that player's matchups.
Yeah, and if I remember correctly, this was Chicago's list that was set down, and then Columbus had put Daniel's list on top of it to choose this matchup specifically.
Okay, so Columbus thought that this was a favorable matchup in their favor.
Yep, I mean the 2 torpedo carriers against 1 agility ships.
Yeah, makes sense.
And you had the bigger bid for the 5s versus Old T.
Yeah.
On paper, it was looking good. But this triple cargo shoot might be a nail in the coffin. I'm surprised that. Oh no, he kept his stress because the 2 forward to drop the shoot would have hit the U-wing there.
Right. Okay. So that sort of makes sense.
Oh no, is he? He's clearly stressed, but we'll see if any of them catches it. I'm not sure the rulings of what is going on. I'm going to interrupt Ryan for a second.
Yeah, maybe just go ask.
Hey, Ryan Fleming. Ryan Fleming.
We're getting a clarification on the protocol here. Oh, now I see that stress token has been taken away. So maybe it was a blue maneuver. William, they removed the stress token now. So I don't. They picked it up. They picked up the stress token, so I don't know.
Well, if he's no longer stressed, he can take an action, and we're back into the game then. I was just trying to get some clarification. Apparently there is no TO. It's a council of captains.
Oh, right. Okay. Yeah, sure. A communal event, team event. Every team is a judge, I guess.
That's interesting, to say the least. All right, let's get back into the game here. So, Old T found his flank there. Looks like he's cutting in. That doesn't leave. Is he trying to give Han the lane there?
Hard to say. Han almost likes to stay back. Make sure he can take advantage of his ability and the trick shot. So it could just be, maybe a self bump to keep Han in a favorable position. We'll see.
You know what? I was just thinking about something. I'm not too familiar with that Scum Falcon dial. Maybe that is the mistake we're having in my own head. But it looks like Nora was able to one bank there. Was able to clear the stress then, even after the shoot.
Let's see this. Jeremy printed me out these dials.
Boom! Answer solved for us. That wasn't a 4 straight. That was a 3 straight blue from Lando, which did clear his stress.
Yeah.
So they're playing. No! Not sure why we're having this problem. All right, back on it. Everybody cross their fingers here.
Seems to be just kind of finicky, but we'll power through.
I thought Darwin was stepping on it, but that is not the case.
Honestly, it could just be the computer taking in all the data at once. We'll get it figured out.
I remember the first time I streamed at Worlds in 2016, and it was cutting out every other second.
Right,
so
sure.
This is just as good. Oh, look at that. Han was able to sneak in there.
Fits in perfectly. The question is this game hyperspace format? Yes, it is. The first 2 rounds of this event will be hyperspace. The last 2 rounds will be extended. And Glendon78, thank you so much for the Twitch Prime subscription. We really appreciate it. Really helps the stream and helps the podcast.
So it looks like start of combat. Old T's trying to strip that focus. Was unsuccessful. So Han is looking for the trick shot there. Han's got a lot of models, so Darwin's trying to look around it. What is interesting, I do want to note that damaged power regulator, because he had received that before Lando shot, or no, it would have been the last hit that went through from the U-wing. He is currently not ioned, and will take this round, next round, and the round after that to fully be ionized.
Right, okay.
Because large base will take 3, and damage power regular only does 1.
So that's the advantage of having big ships in a case like this.
Yep, so he's probably not even worried about it for now. I can't tell if they're rolling in the box. We still got a dice cam going. Oh, he's shaking him.
I
He's
have
shaking
faith.
him.
There it is. We see the giant hand, and I see hit, eyeball, eyeball.
So it looks like that was a ranged 1 trick shot there from Han. Nora adds her evade and takes 3 damage.
Yeah, I mean, you see this Falcon, and you think, oh, 2 attack dice, what's that going to do? But then Han Solo trick shot range 1, 5 dice. That's insane. Obviously, he set up this trick shot perfectly, just really nicking the corner of that asteroid right where Nora ended up landing.
Yeah, and he was really, the Lando Falcon really was hoping that those X-Wing and Y-Wing wouldn't clear their stress, also giving advantage there.
Yeah, sure.
Because I think that's the power of the cargo sheets, trying to trigger Han's or the Lando title and trick shot. So it looks like 2 hits from Old T. Nora's got 1, takes another damage. Down to 4
And that's going
hull.
to come through as a crit loose stabilizer on Nora. It was hit crit on those
hit crit.
dice.
Loose stabilizer.
35 minutes.
Loose stabilizer, I believe, says you need to go straight or suffer a damage. I'm always guaranteed of it. Yeah, if you don't.
Sounds right.
Which is not a good position for that Nora, who doesn't want to go straight at all.
And
So
then
this was Daniel's ranged 1 shot to Han. The trick shot was obstructed, so Daniel did get an extra defensive die.
oh, sure. Okay.
It did not work. They had forgotten about it. But then this is, when the focus was spent.
Looks like taking 1 damage.
Sorry, Sean was going to do it, but then he went to go get pizza. Yeah, I'll do that then.
So it looks like 1 damage went to the drone there.
I don't know who's entering in the data. Who's entering in the data? Since Sean went to get pizza. Are you guys entering in?
There was a spreadsheet.
Did you get it?
No.
I don't know.
I have a spreadsheet. And I have a laptop that I left over there.
We're being recruited to work as data entry as well, so we're getting that sorted out. Apparently, Dion volunteered us.
That's fair. I mean, I'm just hanging out. So
Yeah.
you're an alternate in case anything happens. Is that
That's
correct?
true. I am an alternate. Yeah. I have the job of stepping in if one of our teammates passes out or something. And I'm also involved in the pairing selection process as sort of the scouts for our team, being able to communicate information on what lists have been paired already and what lists are available. Hibernation, thank you so much for the host. Definitely helps keep the visibility and awareness of our podcast, of our stream up.
So this is a Lando, range 1 it looks like, for a hit crit. And the U-Wing takes 1 crit. Oh, no, I believe he was shooting to the Y-Wing. Getting trick shot.
Okay. Trying to
And
keep
then-
the focus fire on the Y-Wing.
Yep, and then Daniel rolled 2 dice because of the obstruction, got an evade, and then added because of Nora being at range 1.
Nora, is just hard to
She's-
go for.
She's taking a lot of shots here.
Yeah.
Now, I'm actually very surprised of that Lando play. Lando went through just taking 4 damage last round and more or less has an exit trajectory now
Sure.
with barely any consequences.
Yeah, sure. So Lando's going to be able to come around and keep getting shots off for probably the next couple rounds, get himself reoriented without, like you said, without really being focused down.
No, and that cargo chute has more or less taken that U-Wing out of the fight. It's going to get double stressed, can't stop, which means that there's no coordinating going on. And his advanced sensors is more or less useless.
Sure.
Luke needs to, I believe, barrel rolled last round. We can't see it now, but Luke did barrel roll last round. I think he's trying to come around on the flank there. I'm going to wiggle the wires, I guess.
Yeah, apologies for the camera. A lot of moving parts here for the setting up the stream. It could be any of these dozens of cables that are giving us the issue.
I missed where Dion was turning this on and off. Did you see that?
I've always had trouble finding that window where you deactivate and reactivate. I'm not sure. We're working to get the video back up here. First Player Gaming, thank you so much for the host.
Yes, because, well, at least that was the end of the round, so at least we're only missing a couple moments here of the planning
Dial
phase.
setting, yeah.
I'll continue to wiggle wires. If you could, I guess, take a second look on these controls.
Yeah. All right, we're going to try to track down the loose wire and see if we can't get this video to spring back to life.
Andrew, do you got something to type them in? Have you got something to record me? Record them? Just grab my laptop from over there and I'll log you in. It was at the right streaming table.
All right, I unplugged something and plugged it back in. That's a good trick. Overload 74, thanks so much. 13 months subscribing on Twitch Prime. Thank you for the dedication and the support. It's back on.
I'm going to claim to have fixed it.
Yeah, I was unplugging stuff. You were unplugging stuff.
That's okay. Cross the fingers and hope for the best. Maybe Dion will take a look at it. I mean, it's just wires, but anyways, so the U-wing still stuck on that debris. Lando came around. Now shows the Ion. Probably moved his arc to the inside to at least try to take a shot.
I would think so.
Looks like Old T is trying to position around the nose cone here. Not sure if that was a bump or not.
Super Sniper Boy, thanks so much for the subscription. Yeah, so we're taking the model off the base now to prevent some bumpage.
It's always what happens. Sticky fingers, everything's sliding around a little bit.
Yeah, you have to allow for some slop, but you try to make it as official as possible.
Oh, I can see it now. There's that little arc.
Sticking out there, yep. Makes sense. And now we have Nora here.
Nora needs to go straight because of that loose stabilizer.
Yeah, right over the rock.
And looks like she lands.
Ooh.
Takes a crit. What is that crit?
Weapons failure.
Oh, that is going to be bad.
That's rough.
Well, as he probably won't have a shot this round, or her. Nora is a girl, yeah. It might not mean too much, but Daniel is not was not expecting this kind of engagement.
This positioning, no, not at all. All of his ships are a little, pointed, not quite where they want to be. Darwin definitely looking to take advantage of this. Catherine Nixera, 12 months in a row subscribing on Twitch Prime. Look at that. That is some dedication.
That's as long as we've had Twitch Prime, so.
Yeah, so thank you so much.
All right, so it looks like Luke was deciding supernatural or not. I don't think he is. Oh, that was the
boost, and then coming around. Yeah, okay, so that makes sense. Get a better angle here.
I was wondering how he was going to be able to do that without just Talon rolling or something.
Yeah, I was thinking almost, just a K-turn or a Talon roll to get Luke back in the fight. But this isn't bad. We'll see if he's able to actually get a shot off.
He might have a torpedo on that old Terok there with no action, which could begin to change the game for Daniel.
That could work. Here we have Han.
Han's got limited options as well here.
Yeah, so looks like just a self bump there.
No, he's trying to bank around old Turok.
Oh, I missed that. Okay.
Yep. Yeah, banked just around him, landed on the debris though.
These players are so good. Like being able to see that, not even just see the option, but know that it's gonna stick. That's amazing.
Yeah, it doesn't look like that crit went through, so just taking the stress there. And yeah, we have Partisan Partisan without a shot, Nora without a shot, and once again we have 3 shots coming from Darwin this round.
Yeah, Luke's gonna be able to put some hurt on, but
yeah, he's trying for that torpedo if he can. If not, he'll have to just shoot Han.
All right, looks like Han's measuring ranges here.
Oh, I think Darwin was checking if Luke was obstructed or not.
Sure.
And doesn't look like that Partisan is out of, that Partisan is in shot. Now the problem here with taking the random pot shot onto Luke is that if you miss, you essentially just recharge his force then. Because he had currently spent one for Supernatural.
Sure.
Well, that's good.
That works too. Hit crit. 1 dice came out, so that must have been at
that's onto Nora.
Nora, yeah.
And
Nora is off the board. So we see Darwin here certainly up on points.
Yep, scoring the first points of this. Well, yeah, you have.
He
Nora
had it at
before.
half points. Now full points on Nora. Here's the next attack. Must be old Tarok, right?
Yep.
2 hits there versus 1 evade.
Parson takes.
Face down damage card.
Yep, but just his first. So, that would be his first toll, which is half points here. So Darwin's scoring a lot of points this round. Look like Luke's target lock here for the proton torpedo, spinning a couple force charges.
Yeah, okay, so that hurts. They're making sure they got the damage and dice correct here.
Darwin thought Han was defending. It is actually old Tarok here, which I believe gets 3.
That's what I saw too.
So just 1 crit. That's convenient.
Yeah, so definitely, Daniel wanted to take advantage of that proton shot and wasn't really able to capitalize on the potential damage output.
I want to say that's weapon failure as well, but we'll find out soon enough. So this is Lando's trick shot.
And it's evaded handily.
And he will get his second ion. So he still has 1 more shot before he will have to do the 1 forward.
Sure. I mean, that's not so bad, really.
No, he's got plenty of time to maneuver for that.
Chat is calling our camera difficulties the X-Wing Bird Box Challenge.
Yeah, I guess.
If you see the ships, they'll kill you.
There you go.
So,
Just close your eyes. Use the force. Okay.
feel where the ships are.
There you go. See? So what is... obviously, we are from Chicago representing Gold Squadron. But we do commentate on biased here. How can Daniel, what can he do to overcome this 79-point deficit?
All right, so I think you have to get at least half on Old Tarok. That's a lot of points and not a lot of not a lot of damage left. So if you
30 points there for just 1 more damage on Old Tarok.
Yeah, and then what else do you need to do?
He would have to get Lando's down 4 and would need another... I forget the math on it now. So 1 more damage? No, it would be 2 more damage. 2 more damage to Lando would score him another 30 points.
Okay.
But that would only be 60 then.
Yeah, so you have to kill Old Tarok outright, and then half points on Lando could do it for you.
Okay. Well, there's the breakdown. It's always we're not playing, but it's always good to know what can win you the game, because any shot on Han right here,
It's kind of a waste.
right? Because at most you're scoring 30 points, which you could just score from Lando.
Plus, Han has the autopilot drone dock, so he has extra shield. He's not taking his own damage until the autopilot is out of shield, so that's even more that you have to put out. Although if he gets the last shield on the autopilot drone, he gets 6 points, but that's not going to do much for him.
No, not with our calculations of he's only scoring about 30 points per half of ship.
Yeah.
And he needs to make up 90 points. So
Yeah, and keeping in mind that even if he were to kill Old Tarok and get half points, he would still not be above the 24-point threshold to count for an outright win. Is that right?
60 to 79. That would be 19 points. Daniel could just force it into a skin
Yeah.
if necessary.
Yeah.
And I think that might be his only option.
Yeah, it might be the best way to go right now. I think points are even more important in this format because of carrying skins into the next round. You have a little bit more of a window to try to shoot for if you don't want outright, essentially a match loss.
Right. Yeah, it's real unfortunate there with Old Turek not taking significant damage because Old Turek is right on the flank of that stressed U-wing.
Yeah, that U-wing is not in a good spot right now. Can't turn around, right? Well, with that stress.
Because you have to stop.
You're right.
You have to
right.
red stop. So, no.
Yeah.
Can't turn around, can't coordinate, can't take any actions. Well, it can't take actions, but can't with advanced sensors.
Sure.
So, he can 2-bank or 1-bank and maybe coordinate Luke.
Okay, so let's get into Darwin's head. Now let's say Darwin knows that Lando is a valuable target. So what does Darwin do with Lando, also knowing that he's going to be ionized soon? Does he try to turn him in, or does he try to sort of run away, giving some extra space between Lando and Daniel's ships?
And I wouldn't want to bring my Lando in because of Luke's supernatural reflexes, and that repositioning before his dial allows him to get around a close-range Lando.
Yeah, sure.
Or be able to position and then K-turn over him. So, but if not, he's kind of dead in the water there. I think I think the idea is that you're kind of screening with Han here.
Yeah, sure. We see that autopilot drone coming out. So we have a deployment here of the autopilot drone out of the back with the 1-bank maneuver from the autopilot drone's dial. And just trying to block Luke here. Block ideally, damage at least on Luke.
Does that charge go away right away? I mean, I assume Darwin knows, but I thought the charge was fixed to the initiative of 1.
Actually, now that I think about it, might be in the system phase. If we still have the Yasby open.
Oh, yeah, it's definitely system phase, but I guess my thinking was that, and I could be wrong. Obviously, Darwin's made the list and is flying it, but I thought it was, so it'd be system phase, check the drone, is it docked or not? And then you check Han to see if you want to undock it.
So both are in the system phase, so I believe the player chooses the order in which they happen.
Oh, no, the system phase is in initiative order. So if you have 2 different Phantoms in your list of, like, say, Echo and Whisper, you always have to decloak Echo first. Interesting. Well, like I said,
yeah.
I believe, Darwin made the list and is flying it, so I kind of had to give him the benefit of the doubt that he might know more about me.
This is an interesting sort of technical procedure of this list. So yeah, definitely, paying close attention to the rules is really important to how this list functions.
Yep, and it looks like we got a coordinate there. The drone came out. And then coordinated this target lock to Old Terok.
Sure.
That's why he's stressed currently.
That drone gets an action. That's crazy too.
Mm-hmm.
Deploys with a maneuver, takes an action, blows up. That's some good utility. You pay for it, 12 points, but being able to maximize that utility is great.
Yep, and he might be able to, with that particular maneuver, might have been able to grab that U-Wing's base.
Yeah, U-Wing did not have a lot of options. With the line you've drawn and just the angle we see here, I think he's got it. Here we have Luke.
Yep, doing the old supernatural barrel roll.
Yeah, probably getting out of the way of that drone. And then...
Oh, he's coming in. He wants that full points on that old Terok.
Okay, certainly makes sense.
And with, like I said, Han potentially screening the Falcons, Luke really does want to fight 2 Falcons by himself,
Yeah.
even if they only shoot 2 attack dice sometimes.
Absolutely.
And I believe this target lock that Luke has was from the U-Wing, as the U-Wing has no tokens on it either. So a lot of coordinating going on.
Sure. Get maximize your actions for your most valuable or hardest hitting ships.
Right. Yep, looks like a bump and then to another debris there. Let's see if they're rolling dice. Are they rolling dice for it? Maybe our cam's out again for the dice. Try to keep an eye on it. Looks like range 2 there. Because OT was trying to strip Luke's focus there at the start of activation. Or excuse me, at the start of combat. But that drone's going to blow up first, though. And we'll see who takes that damage from the drone. So that is all the points for the drone. Drone is gone.
That's one way to get on the board.
12 points right there. Did it hit anybody but Luke?
I think just Luke.
Yep, 1 damage onto Luke there. And
hit crit against evade eyeball, which turns into evade.
Yep, so he's got 1 force down there.
All right, it is the chat's belief that system phase is not resolved in initiative order.
Okay.
So that must be the ruling that Darwin is taking advantage of here with this drone.
So it's like 3 hits are coming in.
That's what I see. And maybe thinking about spending a token is what I'm reading here.
Darwin's antsy.
He picks up the die, and I see evade eyeball.
So it gets...
Two.
Yep. Just 1 damage or 2 there? Just 2 damage?
2 damage, yeah. And
Yep.
then Daniel's shot. 4 damage on the board. 2 evades.
Potential survival here. No, direct hit.
You see that
Direct
last
hit.
damage get slammed down in frustration for Darwin. So that puts Daniel
That puts us in a skin.
up to 71 points. So definitely.
And, actually, see, this is kind of spice that we needed. Daniel needed to take down that old Terok without losing the U-Wing. And it happened.
It certainly did. So now we are no longer in a situation where if the game were to end right now, one player would win outright. They'd be carrying skins into the next round. We'll see how the points shake out over the next 17 or so minutes. Here we have a shot from Lando going into Luke that is evaded.
Yep. Luke's just going to get all of his force points back then. Luke also can potentially heal this. Actually, does it even track this? If I do this, does it do anything on that screen? No?
I do not see the force tokens changing one way or another.
Nope. He has spent both torpedoes, though. So torpedoes are gone. And Lando has lost his chute. But Han still has his. And I think that is all the current things going on. So to make it not a skin, Darwin needs to take off that Ewing off the board or get Luke down to half points, which are both going to be fairly difficult because he can't lose half of Lando either.
We have another ruling update on the.
Is it waffling back and forth?
It is waffling back and forth. Okay, so Inez says system phase is indeed resolved in initiative order, like you originally thought.
Yep.
However, it is the shuttle deploying at its initiative of 1, not the carrier ship deploying at what would be Han's initiative of 6.
So deploy is the docky, and docking is the carrier.
That sounds right.
Okay.
That sounds consistent with what we're seeing here.
Yep, okay. So all that does make sense then. See, it all makes sense. You just had to know the right rules.
The X-Wing community is pretty smart, too. And obviously they have the time and the resources to look this up for us. So thank you very much, everyone who's looking into it.
Yeah, there's a lot of interactions going on here, so certainly do appreciate it. Speaking of interactions, looks like that power regulator finally triggered, and Lando is fully ionized out there.
Yeah, so
for
is
this round.
that a problem?
Not really.
Not really, because what can Luke do? So Luke maybe barrel rolls and then turns in.
I think he hangs out with the Ewing, to be honest with you.
Oh, doesn't? So you don't think he gets aggressively after Lando?
No, he has an R2 charge, and that Ewing needs to either pivot next round or what do I want to say? Or head around the rock. I would not be surprised if Luke barrel rolled. I could see a barrel roll 4K here, and then the Ewing switches to head, so they both head back through this lane and try to engage here. That makes a lot of sense to me.
Yeah, get back kind of in a formation, and then you're able to focus fire a little bit better.
Yeah, there's no reason to send Luke off by himself, but we'll see what Daniel thinks here. So he might be trying to take that lane for the 4K.
Sure.
Oh, no, he's coming in.
A hard turn.
He wants those points.
Okay, so here was my thinking. If I was at the table, I would be feeling a little bit, not desperate, but like short on time. So I think if I'm going to win this game, I need to go after these Falcons. So that was my thinking for the barrel roll and the turn. I definitely see where you're coming from, though, that Luke is now facing off against these two YT-1300s by himself without the support of the U-Wing. So we'll see how it shakes out.
Though, to Daniel's credit, these are both shooting only 2 attack dice, and Luke essentially is very good at modifying his defense dice.
Sure. Yeah, so I think he doesn't mind being aggressive. What did we say, 2 more damage on Lando?
Yes. Because he's 1 hull down, and you need 5 damage. Or no, you need 6 damage. I think it's, so 2 more damage. He's taken 4 currently. 3 shields, 1 hull. And he needs to take 2 more. So Han here spends his focus.
And there we go.
Yeah, but this game did start a little bit later than others.
Yeah, so you may hear time get called, but we will have a couple minutes left on our game. There we go. Hit, crit.
Yep. I had told them that I started the timer once asteroids had gone down, because playing on stream is a little weird sometimes.
There's more interruptions, certainly.
Yep.
So 1 evade, so that's is that hit crit going into Lando?
That's the points that he needed. Didn't see the crit there. Damage fire earlier is gone, though. So we got Lando's return fire here for just a hit, which won't do anything.
So let's see. If our math is right here, though, so now Daniel is up by 32 points. No.
22.
22. So is not yet above that 24-point threshold.
Nope. I'm going to tell them the time as they don't currently have an update.
All right. Oh, check the crit too if you don't mind. Thank you. All right, so we're still in skin territory here, meaning that neither player is winning by more than, or by 24 points or more. So some more damage would need to happen or more ships removed for this to count as an outright victory. Certainly plenty of time to do that, 10 minutes. We could get, maybe we could squeeze in 3 more rounds, possibly only 2 more rounds, depending on how fast it plays. We'll have to see.
So Darwin had started. They both have an agreed-upon timer of when they were.
Oh, so they have their official time.
They have approximately 8 minutes left. So.
Oh, 8 minutes left. See, I was guessing they could squeeze in 3 more rounds, but now we're looking maybe at only 2 more rounds.
Possibly. There's only 4 ships on the board, though. That damage was a fuel leak.
All right, good guess there by Rum Pa Pum Pum.
Yep. With these big cards, you can actually see on the X-Wing where it hit, but...
Sure.
So he's Advanced Sensor Focus. And stop without a rotate.
Let's see, maybe just trying to protect points here.
Yep. Daniel, I think, figures a 1 forward and then a stop rotate in the corner. As you mentioned, he's probably has the same calculation of 3 more rounds.
Sure.
So he's just trying to hold on to those 22 points.
Carganos, thank you so much for the Twitch Prime sub.
So Lando's coming in for it, though. Once again, Darwin has to recognize here that he either needs to keep Lando on the board and keep Han above half, or kill the partisan. He actually killing the partisan would keep it a skin, though.
Yeah, I wonder if these players are aware of the math at this point. Yeah, Anise, that's a really good question. So in this event, it's like the old 1.0 rules where there's kind of a modified win in a way. If you don't win by 24 points or more, your match doesn't count as a win in terms of scoring. You actually carry that victory into the next round as a skin, meaning your next game is worth potentially two, or potentially it's worth 1 additional point for scoring. And so we're keeping track of if these players are above that 24-point threshold to see if that victory will count for this round or if it will actually be carried into the next round as a skin.
Yeah, I didn't think much of that at first. We see Luke here cutting in behind that Han, trying to score some points on him. But I said originally, 24 points, that's not very much, right?
Sure.
But then I realized that it's a 24-point swing both ways.
Yeah, right.
Which really makes it 58 points.
Right, 48 points.
Oh, yes.
Yeah, but the window is twice as big as that margin on either side. So yeah, that's a pretty wide target to hit to be in that range.
Yeah, they in our discussion they had mentioned that a lot of their games may go to skins from their practice.
Sure. Yeah, I practiced with the Chicago group a couple times, and we definitely had skins more often than not.
All right, trying to go for some damage here. Finds one on Luke. Not enough to have him currently. About 5 minutes left in the round, according to Darwin's timer. 2 hits here. Oh, because he boosted with Supernatural, he had to close his wings.
Ah, right, right. So takes
We're talking
away
about Luke specific here.
takes away an attack die. And that U-wing
Yep.
is safe
So
for now.
Han just taking 1 damage there.
Skirk 3N, thank you so much for the sub. And Professor Tracksuit, 5 months, subscribing on Twitch Prime. Thank you so much.
Yep, I think we're going to possibly have Dion assist us here between the rounds during our lunch break for some prizes. And then I think we're giving away the templates. I think we're going to give the Patreon one away at the end of round 3. And we're going to give the Twitch Prime subscription template set during or after the last round here. So you do have
That's great.
you do have all day, but you gotta sign up to be eligible for the Prime templates or the Twitch templates. Don't forget, we also have the Patreon, patreon.com/Gold Squadron, and you could be eligible for these. I think he called them cranberry.
Sure.
We'll show them. We'll show them between the rounds.
Sure. So lots of giveaways here to be eligible for. Stay tuned and send your subscriptions our way. And more people support the channel, more we're able to do these giveaways.
Yep. Might actually not break for lunch here. There's a lot of pizzas being busted out here.
Yeah, my understanding was lunch would come between rounds 1 and 2, but the pizza's here already, so people who are done with their games are kind of swarming these pizza boxes. Officially, time has been called, so for the majority of players, their games are over, except for the last few people finishing up their rounds. Our game is a little bit behind because we had to move them over to the stream table and get them all set up for that. So they're down to... What do you think, about 2 minutes left, maybe?
Yeah, about 2 minutes. So possibly last round here for them. If they can do it with haste, they might be able to start the next round before that timer. It's actually on Darwin here. But this is the hard point of, like, if Dion's reporting a win with his Kylo list.
Very nice.
So this is the hard point of, like, without knowing the results of this round, you can't even fathom what will happen in the second round. So it's hard to say if who is actually beneficial to. Daniel is.
He's very much aware of the clock right now.
Yep. He's still got 1 stop left in him.
Still got 1 stop, yeah. So that U-wing will be safe. Safe from flying off the board. We'll see if he's safe from pews from...
Yeah, Lando's arc is side to side currently. He's not in a great position here, though he is holding on to his points. And it's just going to go for that range 3. Butt shot. Might work out.
Derelac, thank you so much for the Twitch Prime subscription.
We have an R2 astromech here to give Luke a shield. As he is accepting that he can't take half points of Han. It's currently in the lead, but it'll be interesting to ask them if Daniel thought he was going to win or if he thought it was going to be a skin game here.
Yeah, so with the amount of health that Luke has, Luke is pretty safe here, but, maybe both players are just hoping for a skin, wait for the next round.
There's a lot of points calculation. We just let the computer do our calculations here, so.
Oh, yeah. In a match, I would never be able to keep track of this.
The difference between being 22 points up and 25 points up is enormous in this format.
Yeah, absolutely. And being able to do those calculations on the fly is very difficult.
We got Darwin here. And the camera goes out just in time for I believe, the game to end. And from our calculations here, looks like it's going to skin.
Dion is hanging around, helping us with the
How did you do that?
technical stuff.
Can you do that one more time for us? How did you open up that activate deactivate? That's what we didn't understand.
Double click, table.
Ryan Eccentric, thanks so much for the Twitch Prime subscription. Any word on how our guy Dion is doing? I believe he won his game.
Just got the win. Right? Got the win?
Yeah.
Nice. Looks like this game went to a skin here.
Darwin had to do if he was behind.
He was up at first.
He was up at first.
Caught Daniel in some interesting positioning, and then Luke just, started shooting proton torpedoes and scoring points. So
that is time in the round by our points calculations. This game
Is that your match set?
kind of a modified win or undecided. The victory will be carried into the next round. So the next match for both of these players will count for one additional victory. And we'll see how that shakes out in the pairings.
There we go. Get squeezed in here. Rocking our Gold Squadron. By the way, if you love these designs, which they're very cool, you got 3 different. I'll move my beard for a second. You got 3 different helmets. This bright blue Gold Squadron. Dion's got a couple extras. Check the website if you're a Patreon to get some if you haven't.
I love the design, and it's a good quality shirt.
I got to show off the old. I got to stand up to do it. I don't know if this is gonna work. Oh, I'm in a swivel chair.
There it is.
Shows.
Yeah, we got it.
Shows my killer beard hawk on the back.
Sure does.
Representing. So it is going to take a moment here for them to repair because they'll need to go back through, put their list down again, choose their pairings. So we'll probably be back in probably about 10 minutes or so. There might be a little bit more pizza time.
Yeah, this might be the official lunch break from how things are shaking out. So we'll be back as soon as we can. Jared 40, thank you so much for the Twitch Prime sub.
Yes. I like those gunboats out there. Show off your gunboats.
Get hype. All right, we will see you in the next round.